We know that that cannot be so, because the Constitutional Council, which is responsible for establishing these institutions or recommending the appointments that must be made to these institutions, on which recommendations the President was obliged to act, it does not exist any longer. And that has been replaced by a totally different procedure. So I don't think it can be claimed by anyone that independent civil institutions have been established. And as far as the Police Commission and the Public Services Commission is concerned, that surely does not prevail. As a matter of fact, one of the concerns that we have at the present provincial council elections that we are facing is that we have no independent elections commission, which was appointed by the Constitutional Council some time ago. We have to depend upon an election commission, which is in the independence of which I do not think it can be said that everyone has confidence. So these are the matters, sir, that some of the matters I can deal with most such issues, but that will result in my taking a lot of time. So, sir, I'm sorry to say, as far as this action plan is concerned, all that I can say is that on a reading of the plan, on studying the plan, one finds that it's highly generalized, tentative, and not result-oriented. The Executive President, the government and its own various departments and its agencies are the primary cause for the situation that constitutes the foundation for the partiality, the inequality and the injustice that the Lessons Learned Reconciliation Commission sought to address. It is gravely questionable whether these same agencies could provide adequate redress on the basis of the truth being ascertained. These various agencies, in my respectful submission, have a vested interest in ensuring that the truth is not ascertained, because they have to exculpate themselves from blame. Arrangements lack transparency, impartiality and independence. The arrangements are indicative of a desire to continue to perpetuate the past rather than initiate innovative action to provide effective change and redress and bring about goodwill and reconciliation. Action plan has not been formulated after due consultation with Parliament and the democratically elected representatives of the affected people. Action plan is more focused on cover-up and concealment rather than transparency and exposure, and hence lacks credibility and legitimacy. These are my observations, sir. I think it is our duty to make these observations, because before it's too late, because I think if something that is being done is of a highly questionable nature, we have a duty to bring that to light. The action plan also talks about reversal of lands in Sampur in Trincomalee and Valikamam in Jaffna in the north to the people to whom those lands belonged. But very unfortunately, that has not been done. In regard to both the lands in both Valikamam and Sampur, the parties went to the Supreme Court by way of fundamental rights applications. The Attorney General, who appeared on behalf of the government, gave an assurance to the court that the people will be resettled. Those assurances are now being violated. They are not being complied with. I raised the matter in Parliament on a number of occasions, particularly in regard to Sampur, and the Honourable Basil Rajapaksa, replying on behalf of the government on the 25th of October 2011, said that apart from the land required for the coal power plant, all other persons could return to their lands. They are not being permitted to do so. As a matter of fact, in recent times, army personnel have been going to these camps and threatening the people and telling them that they must leave the camps and go to the lands which are pointed out to them as being the lands that will be given to them in lieu of the land in Sampur. In fact, this morning I got information that a very senior military official was to go to the camps and repeat this threat which has been uttered to the people in the course of the last few days by more junior officials in that area. So it is an extremely serious situation. Where now, as far as Sampur is concerned, 1,486 families are affected. Shall we put the number at 1,500? They own in this area 2,795 acres of land. I given the particulars. The land, some of them own lands on deeds which are more than 100 years old. Some of them own land on permits given to them several decades ago, several years ago. Now, in place of these 2,795 acres of land which these people own on their own, they are to be given 20 perches each. And if each family is given 20 perches, the total extent of land given to these people will be not more than 180 acres. You are taking away 2,795 acres of land and giving these people in return only 180 acres. Is this fair? How can you do this? I mean, this is criminal. And now what's happening? I was told that there was a proposal to convert this area into a heavy industrial zone. An Australian company by the name of Mitchell Consortium was supposed to be investing in this area. I have it on good authority that Mitchell Consortium is no longer interested in coming here, that they will not come here, that they have taken a very firm decision that they will not come and invest in this land because they know under what circumstances the land is being taken. They have come to know and they have abandoned the proposal. There was a cabinet memorandum which approved the land being given to Mitchell Consortium. Now, I am told that a private company in Sri Lanka, I am sorry to state with very high connections, is trying to take this land over and commence a large industrial estate in this land, depriving these poor people who have lived there for generations and centuries of this land. They cultivate there, they live there, they derive their livelihood from these lands, and these people are to be given 20 perches each in areas which are not habitable, in areas where they cannot carry on their occupation. What do they do for a living? Nobody seems to be concerned. Why? Why are you treating us so callously? You're talking of reconciliation. LLRC has recommended that the lands in Sampur and Valikamam, I went to Valikamam, Senadiraja comes from that area. I saw the fence being erected. A huge fence is being erected, dividing the land into two and taking over a substantial part of the land and annexing it to the Parali airport. And people have been told, you can come and live on the other land. When I was there, when I drove up there, a woman came running up to me. She saw me. She probably recognized me. She said, sir, they want me to live here and they're going to be there. Can I live here? How can I live here? Will I be safe? How can I live here? I won't be safe. Something might happen to me. How can I live here? This is the trauma to which our people are being subjected. This is the suffering, the agony that we have to go through. You are talking in terms of reconciliation. Now, I am told houses are being constructed for these people in Sampur on these other lands that are being given to them, 20 perches each. 500,000 rupees is being spent on constructing a house. The houses are substandard houses, not worth even 200,000. They are being constructed by some military personnel or persons linked to military personnel. That is becoming an exercise to make money. People are making money. People are enriching themselves. And these poor people are suffering The agony of these people is being exploited by these forces to make money. How can you do this type of thing? I mean, this is cruel, this is wicked, this is not merely illegal, this is utterly immoral. And I would earnestly request the government, if you want reconciliation, if you want harmony, if you want peace in this country, start by returning the land in Balikamam to the people to whom those lands belong. And by returning the land in Sampur to the people to whom those lands belong. Mr. Basil Rajapaksa gave me an assurance in this house on the 21st of October 2011. It is recorded in the Hansard. People can go back to their lands except the land required for the coal power plant. Only 7 families will be affected by that project, nobody else. But then that's not being implemented. What is more, the people have been deprived food because they are not going to the lands to which they were asked to go. For the last 6 months, food supplied under the World Food Programme is not being made available to these people, and they are compelled to starve because they are not carrying out your directions. I think, sir, if this is the way you are thinking to bring about reconciliation and harmony and goodwill amongst people, you are sadly mistaken. You are not going to succeed in this effort. And I think if you want to really make a start by implementing a program for genuine reconciliation, the first thing you must do is to restore the land in Balikamam to the people in Balikamam and to restore the land in Sampur to the people in Sampur. Until that happens, I'm afraid you will not succeed. Now, sir, we're talking about the past. But while these things are still being perpetuated, new things are happening in our areas. We have the famous Kanya hot wells in Trincomalee. I will not read this whole letter, sir, because it's a long letter. I gave this letter to Mr. Basil Rajapaksa in July 2009. On the 20th of July 2009. I will table this letter, sir, and I will be grateful if it is included in Hansard at the end of my speech. This pertains to 7 hot wells in Trincomalee. It has a history behind it. It's linked to the Koneshwaram temple. Ravana dug in 7 places in Kanya with his dagger to perform the 31st day rites of his mother. And hot water of different temperatures spouted from these 7 different springs. And ever since then, over the past several centuries, the Hindus have been performing their 31st day rites at this particular site. I have gone there from the time I was a child. Suddenly, a monk decided to the place, and he has taken over the property because he wants to carry out a commercial venture. A large number of people go there to bathe. Number of people from outside Trincomalee come there to bathe. They ever heard about this place. I remember when President George was president some years ago, in the late 70s, early 80s, a similar thing happened in Kanya. He was holidaying in Norelia. I heard about it, I telephoned him. I told him, sir, such a thing is happening. You mustn't permit this. This is wrong. He asked me, Sambanthan, where are you? I said, I'm in Trincomalee. He said, tomorrow morning, SP Trincomalee will report to you. SP Trincomalee came and saw me and told me, we have asked that monk to go away. He's no longer there, don't worry.